Welcome, everyone. This is the AEW After Show. We're going to talk all about the show, so leave comments and let us know what you thought of tonight's AEW Dynamite. A lot to cover, a lot of different things happening on the show tonight. Building up. We're getting there to full gear. Building up a Rampage for sure, but let's talk about tonight's show. A lot of good stuff. We got back to AEW. There's some ROH stuff in there, but we got back to AEW, and that's why this was such a better show than last week, in my opinion. Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia take on Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. This was a decent match. This was all right. So there's a lot of stuff here to unpack. It's mainly a match that, in my opinion, showed the two veterans, Claudio and Chris Jericho, working with Yuta and Garcia. It just looked like it was to put them in a bigger spotlight together and working with other people. It was good. A lot of basic stuff in here, but it wasn't anything that was groundbreaking, in my opinion. Yeah, nothing against this match. It was just what it was. That's all. Let me know what you thought of it. It was fine. It was a good opener, though. Got the crowd hot. A lot of good Claudio stuff in there as well. So that was good to see. Carnage, welcome to the chat. So it's been announced Chris Jericho versus former Ring of Honor World Champion. Maybe it's an American Wolf surprise. We'll talk about that. It could be. But that was the opening bout, not too shabby. Good stuff, though. That's what you want for an opener, to keep it hot. But then we go backstage. Bryan Danielson back there with Renee just going off about everyone and anyone from last week. Wheeler Yuta going off on the promo last week and everything with Jazz. Took Claudio and William Regal to make everything right for them. And he's going to take it all out on the ring, which we will see later tonight. The Blackpool Combat Club showing some issues. Do you think it's towards the end? Are you sad that's going to end? Are you thinking it's not going to end at all and this is all just a swerve? Let me know your thoughts on the Blackpool Combat Club. I like it. They just don't seem like a full unit anymore. That's my only issue with it. Check this out. The Elite promo. The Elite, Kenny Omega right there getting dusted throughout the whole promo. They did some stuff with Hangman Adam Page in there as well. The Elite are clearly on their way back. You can say what you want about these graphics. It was very cheesy looking. I know what they're going for, but the Elite are coming back. Are you excited? Are you happy? I really do like this because now we're getting, again, like I just said, back to AEW and ROH. As we talked about on this channel before, is going to have a pay-per-view coming up next month and then supposed TV deal to follow suit. But since the Elite are coming back, you got to ask yourself, what about Adam Cole, baby? Bobby Fish isn't there anymore. Kyle O'Reilly's on the shelf. Can they continue the Elite versus the Undisputed Elite? Could they do a 3-on-3? I have that answer for you because 3 people have just signed, I think, a 2 or 3 year deal with AEW. There they are. The Kingdom and Adam Cole, former partners, they could be the new version of what takes on the Elite in a 3-on-3 match. Maria Kanellis by their side. Let me know if you're excited for that. That just is something that is out there. Again, we don't know Kyle O'Reilly's status, and Bobby Fish is getting CM Punk chats left and right. All right, more backstage stuff here. Everyone just kind of like oof because Tony Schiavone called the Jazz the Blackpool Combat Club. But we got a really weird promo from everyone here. A lot of off-mic stuff as well because technical issues. But Jericho did issue that challenge, open challenge, for someone to face him. A former ROH person, and as Carnage just pointed out, could be an American Wolf surprise. Let me know in the comments who you think could come back and face Chris Jericho. We just had Dalton Castle, of course, but it appears to be someone not on the AEW roster, but it still could be. So leave a comment and let me know who you think it's going to be. I think Samoa Joe will be kept for later on. And yeah, Carnage, Kyle is still recovering from neck surgery. He's planning on doing physical recovery soon. Carnage, any ideas if you think Adam Cole should face the Elite? If they should continue that, if they should use the Kingdom, or you think he should just go in another direction? All right, next up, FTR versus Swerve in Our Glory. This was great. This was good stuff. This was a hot match. We had hot tags. We had good spots in here as well. This was what, I don't say should have main evented because you got to put your main title in the main event. That's just good business in my opinion. But this was great. What a nice spot for it too. Keeps the crowd fresh. It should have been, I think, a little bit later on in the show too, just to keep them a little more into the show. The crowd kind of cooled off a little bit. But this was a great match. Swerve in our glory, take it. The Acclaim come out. The Guns are out there dressed as FTR. So you have two other tag teams watching this match. You knew something was going to happen, and something did happen because the Guns held Dax's shadow so he couldn't get back in the ring and save him from the 3 count. So that is it. You knew number 1 contenders for the tag belts are Swerve in our glory. Again, great stuff. Good match. And Keith Lee showing great big man stuff in the ring while still being agile, which we all love from Keith Lee. We had Renee backstage with Saraya and Britt. We'll get more of that next week when they all do a sit down. Then we had Renee and MJF. MJF came out because he was going to talk to people. We're going to hear from MJF, of course, because they're just building him for what's coming later on in the night. So he does a great Mox impression. I'm very happy with his Mox impression. I thought it was very funny, the moving around, and because that is Mox. That's fucking Mox to a T. And yeah, no offense to Mox, but we see the same shtick all the time, especially his promos. But this is good because Stokely Hathaway comes out after he says he's not going to use his Dynamite Diamond ring against Mox. Stokely comes out, has a mic. MJF knocks it out of his hand because don't fucking bring a mic to MJF's promo. You don't do that. Says he should not have the firm involved in any way. He wants Mox 110% at Full Gear. It seemed like a big work, right? He says he's not going to cheat and use the ring. He says he's, going against what he said last week. He says he does not want anyone to touch Mox. We'll get to that later. But good promo. Great promo from MJF, of course. Playing off Renee. He didn't do anything weird couple-wise with Renee and Mox, so I appreciate that. And Stokely. Stokely is going to probably have a big promo next week. Look for that. Will it be as good as this one? I don't know. MJF is pretty good. Tough act to follow. All right. Let's check out these chats really quick. Of course, really do hope Kyle comes back because he says he wants to wrestle Danny Garcia, Wheeler Yuta, and Bryan Danielson. Those aren't just Kyle dream matches. I would say that's good dream matches for all of us right there. Also, Bryan Danielson still wants a match with Shibata and Okada. Well, I think with how Carl Anderson's situation is playing out, I think New Japan will kind of do anything AEW wants just to stick it to WWE. My opinion, that's all. All right. Again, we had another promo in the back with the Kingdom going after Wardlow for their match coming up. It's going to be Wardlow versus the other guy that's not married to Maria Kanellis. We'll see where this goes. We'll see if Adam Cole does side with them because he does need people to go up against the Elite. But again, we'll see. He did work with them in the past. All right, let's get to a match. I really hate Sammy Guevara and I really hate his wife. So this is very tough for me to watch. She cannot shut the fuck up. I cannot. He just yells, Sammy, Sammy, and then screams and yells. It's so annoying. This match was so difficult for me to watch. Who made it possible? Bryan Danielson made it possible to watch. No one sells like Bryan Danielson. He sells so well. He puts over whoever is in the ring against, and he doesn't sell himself short. He still makes himself look strong as all hell. Bryan Danielson has to be this generation's Bret Hart. I think he's the best around. Other people are fantastic, of course. Bryan Danielson is stuff like this, putting someone over, making them look strong while not making himself look weak. I hated the match because I hate Sammy Guevara and I hate Tay Conte. So whatever to this. I did not put any bonus picks for that. All right. In the back, Christian, we'll get to this women's match here. Christian and Luchasaurus come out. They say to Alex and Ray that Luchasaurus, who now grunts apparently, goes, whatever. He's a dinosaur, so I guess it works. Gonna challenge Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy just comes out and makes it a three-way match because that's the kind of fighting champ Orange Cassidy is. Now we get to the women's match. And some more chats. Carnage Rage says, we all know Wardlow's gonna kill Matt Taven. That's his name. Yeah, I hope he does. I like Matt Taven. I shouldn't say that. Brian beat the fuck out of him. Brian did, and I think that's why I liked it so much, was because he didn't hold back on the chops and the kicks, and I smiled with everyone. I really hate Sammy Guevara. I just do. All right, Jamie Hayter. Hayter's going to hate, and Riho, she came back last week. This was a decent match, but it also needed more. I felt like the outside stuff from Britt wasn't fully on. I just felt everyone in there wasn't fully connected on what they're supposed to present out there. But the match was decent. I have a lot of fun watching Riho and Jamie Hayter do the size difference. A lot of cool stuff like that. I like two people that can make the size difference works. Hayter made, just like Bryan Danielson, made Riho look good. Riho has been around for a while, knows what she's doing, but still knew how to make Hayter look powerful. At the end of this, we had Toni Storm come out, hold up her fake women's championship belt, and basically say that Hayter is next. Dr. DMD was going along with it. I think this is where the split is coming. Something's going to happen, I think, with the sit down next week with Saraya and Renee. But I think something is going to happen with Hayter facing off against Toni Storm for the fake championship at Full Gear. And now we're going to see the Britt Baker Clique split. Because Hayter is so over. They're going to do it. We saw them do it with the Acclaim and put the belts on them a week after the internet went nuts that they didn't beat Swerve in Our Glory. So I do believe Hayter is going to turn face. Carnage, when asked about a partnership with Pro Wrestling Noah, Khan said anything is possible in AEW. They have this door that is forbidden unless Tony Khan wants something. It's a really neat concept. They did a pay-per-view off of it too. All right, then this guy had a promo. Let me know in the chats what this promo was for. I know it was basically playing coy on all the backstage stuff happening with Eddie Kingston and all the fights that he's like getting into with people and like almost getting into. Let me know what this really was about. I didn't really get this promo. He was just being weird and wacky. And after this, we got Darby Allin and Jay Lethal pumping up their next matchup. So Darby Allin, When We Were Young festival as a person. All right, Max with the main event right here. Jon Moxley versus Penta El Zero Miedo. Okay, this match, I'm not complaining about this match. This was exactly what I thought it was going to be between Moxley and Penta, but it's a good thing. You know, we have certain people that are in wrestling that are going to deliver every time. These are two of them. You know what you're going to get with a Young Bucks match. You know what you're going to get with a Seth Rollins match. It's just all these people throwing a little something extra every time. This match to me didn't have that anything extra, but that's fine. This isn't a go-home show or anything like that. This is a title match on TV that wasn't squash, didn't end in a roll-up or any weird stuff like that. It was Mox going over and retaining the title, which is what I like to see in championship matches. So, good stuff. We'll get to the end in a second here. Well, Sting can't help Darby because he's in Japan. That is true. This is why Jay Lethal should get the win. Give Jay Lethal some wins. I don't like this mistreatment. I will say it, mistreatment of Jay Lethal. All right, but then after this, the Firm came out. They were just told not to, and they came out anyways. Stokely and the rest of the people I always forget are in the Firm came out. W. Morrissey, All Egos, Ethan Page. The Guns come back out for a second appearance of the night. Lee Moriarty. Is that Lee Moriarty? I can't remember who's in the Firm. Leave comments on who all came out. But they came out, they attacked. MJF teased coming out. He was angry, but not angry, but angry. And then they attacked him. The Firm attacked MJF. I thought this was a work. I thought all of this was a work until MJF got his ass whooped and got put through a table. Now, no matter what, he got beat up more than Moxley did. Neither men are going to be 100%, I guess, at Full Gear. But this is kind of shocking to me. I did not expect the Firm to turn on MJF so soon. But then again, when you're 2 strikes, you're almost there anyways. That is it. I mean, MJF, what do you think about this? I was very surprised that they beat the shit out of him. Not even just in a way that they could write it off and say that he planned this all along, because he did get beat up more than Moxley. Surprised, that's all. I'm surprised, and it's good. Heard rumors of an SCU reunion between Scorpio Sky, Frankie Kazarian, and Christopher Daniels. Is it an Impact? I'll bet it's an Impact. Kazarian's doing some bigger stuff in Impact than he has been doing in AEW. But I like to see where this goes. I'm very excited by this because I do not know where this goes. I did not see this coming. It wasn't a huge thing. Was it the biggest thing in wrestling in the last couple months? No. But it was a cool thing because it advances the storyline, and now I don't know exactly where we're going to Full Gear. So that was good. All right. Match of the night for me. That has to be the tag match. That is Swerve in Our Glory versus FTR. I just absolutely love this match. It was great. It was exactly what I wanted out of these two teams, and it got the crowd so involved. So I was big into that. Promo of the night, obviously, I mean, that's almost a gimme. MJF. MJF promo of the night. Everyone else's promos were fine, but that's it. They were just fine. Nothing to write home about. This one worked because it built towards the end of the episode, and it built towards more mystery on what the hell's going on between the relationship between Stokely Hathaway and MJF. And I'm going to say the worst part of the night, the match was great. I'm not even going to put their match up because I don't want to sell it because it was good stuff. But the women's booking, again, Tony Khan with the women's booking, worst part of the night. One match, and we had another segment with Britt Baker and Saraya, but that still involves someone who is in the match at the night. We need to advertise more women that are going around here in AEW rather than just throwing them all in dark, because we just have the exact same women on all the time or on one show. There's no Jade with the TBS championship and Nyla Rose. That storyline could have been put on rather than the Luchasaurus segment. A lot more stuff could have been shuffled around to put more women onto this episode. Very let down by that. So that is the thumbs down of the night. Not exactly Simon Miller, but. So what do you think? When do you think, also, do you think we'll see the return of Shane Taylor to AEW? It has to be at the pay-per-view, honestly. Man, it has to be at the ROH pay-per-view. Otherwise, I don't think Shane Taylor is going to come to AEW. You could maybe have him be a surprise in 2023 for the TV deal. But it has to be the pay-per-view to me to hype him up, doing something and feuding when the TV deal goes down, which I do think is going to be on streaming. And do you think that Swerve will turn on Keith Lee? I think it is going to happen. That's what's going to happen, which I thought was going to happen tonight. But instead, we got FTR is going to be feuding with the Ass Boys. And now I think he's going to turn on Keith Lee when they fight the Acclaim and they don't win. So just like I think Zoe Stark is going to turn on... Nikita Lyons in NXT. The Rock's daughter's there now. What do you think about that? Crazy Swerve. I didn't see that coming last night. All right, that is it. That is the AEW Dynamite after show. Thanks for tuning in. Leave comments on what you thought of the show and what your high points and low points were. Solid show, I got to say, overall. Better than the last few weeks. I've hated watching Dynamite. I'm just going to say it. I'm out there. I hated watching it because it was so ROH heavy. It didn't feel like watching AEW because they're trying to figure out what to do with ROH. Well, apparently they're doing stuff with AEW now on AEW television, and I like it. You sprinkle in some ROH stuff here and there to slowly just advertise stuff for the pay-per-view and build. Don't make it ROH heavy going into the ROH pay-per-view either. And then you got your TV deal on streaming, which I'm sure it's going to be. Oh, man, HBO Max. I'm sure it's going to be on. HBO Max is going to be canceling a lot more stuff to save more money. They have to save billions and billions of dollars. I know James Gunn just took over the DC universe with someone else. I do not think he can save Batgirl, if you're wondering, because I'm pretty sure it's already been deleted because they already said that they saved money on it. And if that's the case, then it has to be officially gone. So let me know your thoughts on that. The DC universe, just on the block earlier, they had the Wakanda Forever premiere. Check it out on YouTube. It aired. Joe passed it. It is a big production, so I think they're doing a whole big number. Rihanna's new song is on for that as well. A lot going on. So leave comments all night. I'll be checking them because I got nothing else to do. All I do is watch wrestling and The Boys and Rick and Morty and fun pop culture stuff. But let us know in the chats, in the comments section, what you want to see on the channel, if you want to see us do anything. Otherwise, Sunday we'll see you at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Knock, Eric, and myself will be here for the live podcast. We talk everything about wrestling, and we throw in some pop culture stuff as well. So let us know what you want to see. Otherwise, we'll see you Friday night live, Rampage. Be here. We do trivia. We do some news and rumors. We do topics. We do your comments live every Friday for Rampage. Wherever you watch it, it is live. Right here. Be a part of it. Otherwise, I'm Zach. Thanks for checking out the stream, the AEW Dynamite After Show. Have a great night. And be excellent to each other.